5 News at 6 starts now.
Ahead tonight, some relief is on the way for food benefit recipients, but the emergency funding is expected to fall short of the usual amount. We'll hear how Arkansas nonprofits are stepping up to help those in need. And the impact of the shutdown could soon reach Arkansas Department of Human Services workers, with plans to furlough more than 1,500 people if no deal is reached.
And Coach Cal and the Razorbacks are starting a new season tonight. We'll check in with Robin Hearn at Bud Walton Arena in just a bit.
Well, thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Morgan Wrigley.
And I'm Lauren Spencer. We had a nice day outside to start the work week. Chief Meteorologist Scott Covert is here with a first look at what's ahead in the forecast, and a cold front this weekend, you said, right?
Hey, if you liked today's weather, you're going to be in for a treat literally all week long. If you like the cool weather, then yeah, I got a cold front for you coming up here in just a few days. Let's get straight to it out there this evening as that sun has now set. I know it takes a little bit to get adjusted to, doesn't it? 60 in Ozark, 70 Boonville. How about 61 Huntsville, 64 the current temperature in Bentonville. Our skies out there this evening are nice and clear, and they're going to stay that way overnight tonight. By the time we're waking up come tomorrow morning, we're down into the upper 40s, near 50 or so. Cool enough the kids probably do want that light jacket out the front door. Not a bad day at all. Pretty quick warm up all the way up to near 70 by lunchtime. And as that sun continues to set a little bit earlier, we'll see those temperatures by 5 o'clock down back into the mid 60s. In the River Valley, we start off the day in the upper 40s, low 70s by lunchtime. A great day to have lunch at the park, perhaps a local patio of your choice. 70 by 5 o'clock come tomorrow evening. Skies are going to be nice and clear out there. Beautiful sunset there from Fayetteville. This week's weather, I got to tell you, A+. It's going to be warmer than normal, but by this weekend, big changes tracking our direction. A strong cold front, how it impacts weekend plans right here. Just a few minutes.
The federal government shutdown is now in its 33rd day and on pace to be the longest in U.S. history later this week. The Senate reconvened today, but there are few signs of progress to end the stalemate. Democrats continue to hold out for extensions to pandemic-era health care subsidies. Republicans need 60 votes to send a spending bill to the president. The shutdown is expected to become the longest in American history at 11 o'clock tomorrow night. The state's largest public agencies could furlough more than 1,500 employees this week, leaving thousands of Arkansans worried about how they'll get food or benefits.
5 News reporter Bo Russell shows us how local groups are stepping up to fill the gap.
Even if it's like a bag a day still kind of helps. Even if it's like Spam, it's something. There's probably still people that go through dumpsters.
As the government shutdown nears a record length, community groups in Northwest Arkansas are already seeing the impact and bracing for the worst.
It's been hard to keep our pantry filled.
The Department of Human Services says it will furlough more than 1,500 employees and close county offices starting November 7th, putting critical benefits like SNAP and TANF at risk.
At this time, we are continuing to advise our beneficiaries to prepare for a disruption or delay in SNAP benefits, and we will provide additional guidance as soon as we receive it.
Mann says without federal funding, DHS will have to pause new benefit applications and is urging Arkansans to seek help from local food banks and churches. At the Squire Joe Hagan Outreach Center in Fayetteville, Director Monique Jones says food lines are already growing.
We have seen an increased need. We've had even increased emergency requests for emergency food boxes, and we expect there to continue to go up.
Down the road, the food pantry at Grove Church is seeing the same thing.
We see people coming probably more often than we have in the previous months.
Reports show more than 220,000 people in Arkansas rely on SNAP each month. As furloughs expand and county offices close, some of our community's most vulnerable are relying on donations now to keep them fed and safe.
The wait times will be a little bit longer. Our goal is to serve everyone, and if you're just patient, we'll take care of everyone, and just know that it may be an influx, that you normally may be the first person in line, but guess what? Somebody else may beat you there because they have a higher need.
President Trump's administration says it will partially fund SNAP programs, but it's unclear how or when that will happen. I'm Bo Russell, 5 News.
The White House says help is on the way for food benefit recipients. The USDA will tap more than $4.5 billion from its contingency fund after a judge's decision last week ordering the White House to use that funding. The payments are expected to fall short of the usual amount. It's still unclear how much less. The USDA says the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program costs roughly $9 billion every month. With many families impacted by the SNAP delay, organizations in Arkansas are stepping up to help the more than 230,000 Arkansans who receive food benefits. Maya Ellison shows us how they're working to fill the gaps and make sure no one goes hungry due to the shutdown.
Disruption to SNAP benefits is now leaving hundreds of thousands of Arkansans in search of help. We heard those concerns from a few Arkansans last month when many learned of the disruptions.
What about the food for Christmas? What about the food banks?
It scares me to not know if I'm going to be able to get through with the next 2 months.
Since then, organizations across the state have stepped in, making sure those concerns don't become a reality.
We've been preparing and making sure that the infrastructures are in place to take care of each other.
Arkansas Community Advocates doesn't rely on federal grants, but that hasn't stopped them from helping where they can. Their latest effort, a free food distribution in Conway, along with other weekly events.
Every week we do food distribution in North Little Rock, the newly started community cafe that is at Calm and Confidence in Little Rock.
And down the road, North Little Rock School District is expanding its food pantry to support families who rely on SNAP.
And we have a call tomorrow at 11 o'clock. We've invited everybody from nonprofits to private businesses to the chamber, churches, to get on a call together and figure out as a community, how can we really wrap around these families that are in need right now.
District officials say more than half of their families depend on SNAP, and they're calling on the community to help.
And if you have a food pantry or a clothing pantry or a way to help families, we want to be able to get that information to families.
And statewide, others are stepping up too, from Jefferson County to Pulaski. The MLK Commission is hosting its annual Operation Appreciation Early Thanksgiving giveaway.
We'll be giving one box per car, so it's a first come, first serve until at least the food is exhausted.
Through these efforts, everyone's mission is the same, ensuring Arkansas families are taken care of.
Now is the time to figure out how can you get those things to somebody else. If you're not affected by the SNAP crisis, this is your opportunity to really give.
That was Maya Ellison reporting. We'll be following the latest on negotiations to end the shutdown. You can find those latest updates on our website, 5newsonline.com.
Send 100 members of the National Guard to Washington, D.C. The soldiers come from the 142nd Field Artillery Brigade and are mostly based in northwest Arkansas. The federally funded mission will last several months, replacing other units that have been on the job since August. Colonel Joel Lynch says the mission will be similar to previous. Soldiers will provide security and help law enforcement in high-traffic areas like the National Mall and metro stations.
Whenever the country needs us, whether the governor says, hey, we need you to go help out in Washington, D.C., or whether it's something else, we know that we can call on the right amount of trained professional soldiers, and they will spin up really fast, and they will get to the situation and be a very big player in whatever exercise or operation that's going to be in our.
The Guard is anticipating for those soldiers to leave for the mission after Thanksgiving and return around the end of February. They're currently preparing at Fort Chaffee with administrative checks, health screenings, and weapons qualifications before their deployment.
Well, Arkansas candidates are now officially filing for next year's primary election on March 3rd. Today marks the first step for candidates who want their names on the ballot. Washington County's Director of Elections, Jennifer Price, says it's a day marked by anticipation and a lot of activity, and they're seeing signs of strong interest this year.
Of course, we won't know anything till officially after filing ends, but definitely we have seen interest, in a lot of local races at the state level as well. And so we're actually, for a couple of offices where you have an incumbent, we're seeing that incumbent have a primary opponent.
Senator Tom Cotton officially filed his paperwork to run for another term today. The filing period runs through November 12th. And Price reminds anyone planning to run that deadlines and documents are all listed in the Running for Office handbook available online. We'll be following who files to run for local races in 2026, and we'll bring you continuing coverage on our free 5 News app. Well, excitement is high for the start of a new Razorback basketball season.
Yeah, they just tipped off at Bud Walton Arena. 5 News sports anchor Robin Hearn is there and giving us a look into the action.
Yeah, this one just tipped off at the top of the hour. We'll definitely have all the highlights later on tonight at 10. But for the fans, you're getting a chance to see some new faces from the Hogs and Darius Acuff, Nick Pringle, and Malik Thomas, just to name a few. They've been on quite a few different watch lists this season, so definitely make sure you're watching out for those guys. We'll have all the highlights, and you'll hear from Coach Cal and the players tonight at 10. For now, in Fayetteville, Robin Hearn, 5 News Sports.
Well, thanks, Robin. You can follow all of our Razorback coverage throughout this basketball season with our free 5 News Plus app. It's free to download for your smart TV.